Today, we're going to look at a really fascinating approach to climate action, but it's not coming from a government or a nonprofit. Nope, it's from a unique holding company called Eco Green Investments, and it's designed as a complete corporate ecosystem with one single mission: to fight climate change. So let's dive in and see how this thing actually works.
So, at its core, Eco Green Investments, we'll call it EGI for short, is a UK-based holding company. But, as you can probably guess from the name, its purpose goes way beyond just making money. Its entire structure is built to funnel funds into sustainable development, using a model that's, well, it's really ambitious and, as you're about to see, incredibly interconnected.
And that really brings us to the big question here, doesn't it? How on earth can 13 totally different companies, we're talking everything from IT and construction to catering, all work together as one single powerful ecosystem to tackle something as huge as climate change? Let's break it down.
All right, so to see how this all fits together, we'll start with the big picture, the EGI ecosystem. Then we'll get into the green finance engine that actually powers the whole thing. After that, we'll look at its digital and physical backbone, see a closed-loop system in action with a real example, and finally, check out the central support that helps it all grow.
Okay, first up, the EGI ecosystem. Now, this is not just some random collection of companies that happen to share a logo, and it's definitely not your typical corporate responsibility program that's just, some side department. Here, the mission is literally baked into the DNA of the business. EGI is a portfolio of 13 different subsidiaries, all designed from the ground up to work in synergy, creating this self-reinforcing system where each part makes the whole thing stronger.
And the key phrase to remember here is closed-loop model. What that means is the companies are designed to support each other. The outputs of one company literally become the inputs for another. It's a pretty brilliant way to slash waste and just max out efficiency across the entire system.
But what actually powers this whole ecosystem? Well, that brings us to its green finance engine. This is really the heart of EGI's model, and it's all about a super clever way of turning natural assets into the fuel for sustainable development. And the fuel for this engine? It's something called high-integrity carbon credits. So, to put it simply, a carbon credit is basically a certificate that represents 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide that's been removed from the atmosphere. The high-integrity part is absolutely crucial, though. It means these credits are verified against really tough international standards, which makes them credible, valuable, and not just hot air.
So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's pretty much a 4-step process. First, EGI assesses natural assets, think forests, mangroves, to see how much carbon they can soak up. Second, based on that science, it generates official tradable carbon credits. Third, they sell those credits on the voluntary market to big corporations that are trying to hit their net zero goals. And finally, and this is the genius part, all of that revenue gets plowed right back into the system to fund and subsidize the operations of all 13 subsidiaries.
Okay, so an ecosystem this complex needs a really strong foundation to stand on, right? So let's look at the digital and physical backbone of EGI, which is provided by 2 of its key subsidiaries.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the IT company building out the digital backbone. We're talking AI analytics, resource tracking apps, the whole shebang. Then, on the other side, you have the construction company building the actual physical world, the sustainable, LEED-certified buildings and factories. So one builds the brains and the other builds the body.
All right, with the engine and the backbone in place, let's see how all the different parts of this ecosystem actually work together. We're going to look at a really clear example of this closed-loop system in action.
It all starts here, with the agriculture subsidiary. It's using sustainable farming methods to grow all this great organic produce. But that food doesn't just go to some random open market. Instead, it becomes a direct input for another EGI company, the catering and restaurant subsidiary. This creates a completely internal, sustainable, farm-to-table supply chain.
And here's where the loop closes. That catering company then provides its services for green events that are planned and managed by another subsidiary, the advertisement and organization company. It's a perfect illustration of a self-sustaining 3-way synergy. Just brilliant.
Now, this idea of a closed loop isn't just for farms and food, it even extends to the industrial sector. And this quote is so powerful because it completely reframes what a factory is. Inside EGI, it's not just a place that makes stuff, it's an active part of that green finance engine we were just talking about.
So how does a factory do that? By being absolutely obsessed with minimizing waste.
We're talking regular energy audits to meet strict standards, aggressive R&D into low-carbon manufacturing, and using that digital backbone for AI-powered resource tracking. Every single bit of waste they reduce or efficiency they gain can actually help generate internal carbon credits feeding right back into the system.
Okay, final piece of the puzzle. To make all of this work, and more importantly, to help it grow, EGI relies on a group of subsidiaries that provide essential, centralized support services. The finance company is kind of like the central nervous system for all the money and risk. It manages funding across the entire group. It handles all that complex ESG reporting, and it even provides insurance against climate-related risks, like, say, a crop failure in the agriculture business.
Just as important, though, are the people. The HR and security company doesn't just hire bodies to fill seats. Its job is to build a specialized, eco-aware workforce. This makes sure that every single employee, whether they're driving a truck for the logistics company or working at the front desk of the hotel, understands and contributes to the group's mission.
And of course, you've got to get the word out. The marketing and advertisement companies work together to promote the EGI brand. A perfect example would be creating an ecotourism package that combines a stay at the hotel with the farm-to-table dinner experience from the catering company. See? Another beautiful synergy at work.
So as this table really sums up nicely, all 13 companies fit into these clear interconnected categories. You've got the finance engine, that's agriculture and industrial, generating value from nature. You've got the backbone, IT and construction, providing the infrastructure. You've got the operations companies, like the hotel and catering, delivering the actual green services. And finally, the support companies, helping it all run and grow. It's a truly integrated network.
Which really leaves us with one final and pretty important question. By creating a model where being profitable is directly tied to having a positive environmental impact, where every part of the business reinforces that sustainable mission, could this integrated ecosystem be the future of corporate responsibility?